Good evening, all. Day 05. Yesterday we have tried one application. There was a small code issues there. That's why it is giving an error. The intention of the code, why I'm deploying and why I want to present to you, is to understand how the application will perform inside the server. If you take this as a server, and here is first one operating system. On top of the operating system, first we are going with the web service. So this is for load balancing and also providing the web service to your code, app logic. And we can go with app logic here. That is nothing but your application code. And then database. This is the data layer. So this is the 3-tier architecture for an application inside the server. This is in single server we are doing. So this server will be having one IP address. So this IP address we are searching through our devices, like from the laptop or mobile, we are searching it. So whenever we are searching this IP address on the browser, the first request it comes to the web, and then it forwards to the app logic, and whatever the data you are writing in the app logic, it is going to store in your database. So this is actually a 3-tier. Even you can eliminate this one and you can run directly this two by directly connecting to the server app logic. But when you are running this app logic directly, there might be issues, because if you press Ctrl C and if you are running multiple services in the single server, if one service is running, you cannot run another service. You have to hide it. You have to hide another service and you have to run another one with a different port numbers. To avoid this conflict, you can use web service for better performance, and it is going to provide you load balancing and as well as web service to your app logic. In Linux, we use Apache and Nginx. HTTPD, Apache we call, and Nginx also. Nginx and Apache are popular tools for the web service tool, and app logic and DB. So DB you can take anything. You can take Postgres, MySQL. The most used DB is MySQL, and you can connect this app logic and DB to store your data. This is a 3-tier. See, one is a presentation layer and app logic layer and data link layer. Data layer. 3 layers I am keeping in the one server only, but it is not recommended. It is for our understanding. I'm creating this lab. In real-time scenario, if you take any company, any organization, if they are deploying some application for test environments, we can go with this kind of labs. But for the production, we are not recommend this process. We always need to keep DB as a separate server. DB in the separate server. Database. Because if your server is terminated or got affected by any resource constraints like CPU, memory, network, something has happened, if this server down and your database also down, if this server down, you can create one more server by applying the auto scaling or applying some other scaling policies, and this server also will look into this DB. So your application will not go down if you keep your DB aside, not in the same server. You need to keep the DB in separate server. In AWS, you can use managed databases like RDS. So this is the difference. But a test environment, and to understand for the first time, we can go with the one server. And even we can keep web also in separate server, AppLogic in one server, and DB in one server, and we can apply the configuration. So this is how in real-time production we are following the procedure. But this single server things is not recommended for the production. It is only for staging environments or a test environments, a development environment. A developer wants to deploy something and you would like to test for a POC or for a test, it is recommended. It is just to understand ourselves how an app logic runs, how a web service will provide the request to the app logic, and app logic is going to post or write the things into the DB. For that, I'm logging into the AWS console. I'll go to the instance section, launch instance. Always better to take the Ubuntu instance. Call it as my web server. Ubuntu is the operating system which I'm inserting inside my server, and the configuration of the servers is T2 medium for better performance. And key pair, yesterday I already created one key pair. This is a new account again. The new key pair I have created. I'm going to select one security group which is allowed as all traffic with all port numbers, and I'm launching the instance. The number of instances is 1. My server is running. Go to the connect button and copy this. You can go with your terminal. Yes. Whether your keeper is downloaded in your download section, there only you have to open this command prompt and paste this command so that you can able to connect to the EC2 instance. Sudo should, I would like to go with the this one, and apt update. First, I need to update all the packages in my server. Again, to run my application, I have to go with some package installations and dependency installations. Then only I can run my application. So for that, I'm just giving this command. You can find in the notes also. I'll provide you the notes link. With this command, what I'm installing Python, MySQL server, and Nginx. Then after, I have to go with some package of securing my installation on MySQL. Enter, 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 and you can do enter also here. Once you have entered, you will be into the as a root user into your MySQL server here. Here itself in the same server, we are deploying the MySQL DB also. And here I would like to create one database and as well as one user. One database and as well as one user. So to create this, I would like to open a notepad and then I'll come here and I would like to do some changes. In the password section, I'm going to keep it as DevOps at 2024 for password policy match. I'm creating a student feedback database and feedback user as the user which my application logic is going to use to write the data into the database. Okay, and this is a password which is going to log in from my application and it will write the data inside this, and all the permissions I'm providing on it. So this is the query, SQL query, and run here. That's it. Now we have created one query in the MySQL server, and then I have to go and create a directory and enable the virtual environment for my Python development and installing the Flask dependency for my application building. So with these commands, it automatically created student feedback app. This is a directory. So inside this, I have to create my application logic. If you see ls, nothing is there. Vi app.py. And I'm going to give my code here. This is my Python code. And here we have to do change. In some code repositories in GitHub, you will find this information like connection, MySQL connector, host, username, password, database. This information separately keeping into the config.py configuration folders or configuration files separately. But we are not enclosing like that because it's a simple one. I am going to give in the same code base only in one file app.py. Whenever you're seeing any Python repositories, you might see this information into the config.py files or config folders regarding database, PHPs or SQL queries also. You will find all the other scripts, property scripts into the config folder. And I'm going to save this, escape, shift colon, WQ, exclamation mark. Don't worry about this command. We're not yet done about the Linux classes. So we're going to do Linux classes. In that classes, you will get to know all about these commands. And the hierarchy for the Python, if I write app.py, so app.py is a application logic which is working. But what is a UI? When I am searching something on the web browsing with my IP address, so it has to show me some UI. For that, I have to create template. Inside the template, you can create some files like sign up files, login files, HTML files, all HTML, CSS things you can keep in the templates only. I'm going to create one file index.html. After this, we can also try with the Node.js in our regular classes with advanced applications, and we can also try with PHP. We have other code bases also. With that, you will get the better understanding of how the application can be deployed on the server. And this is my HTML code. So let me come back from this template folder and ls. So here I have app.py and my templates also done. Now I would like to set up something for my Nginx, which is site links. So for this site links, I have to take my IP address of the server. So this is my IP address of the server. Copy this and you have to provide in this section here. So here I have given 13.201.119.9. So what it do? It is the Nginx config file where it forward your request to the IP address. We are running our service in one specific directory, in one folder. So wherever the service run in the server, Nginx will forward to this 127.0.0.1 5000. In our second class IP address section, I already told about 127 IP address, which is loopback IP of every server or every device will connect the internet with the 127 IP address only. Shit, all gone. Okay. Are you all able to see my screen and as well as my voice? Are you all can hear me right?
Yeah, yes, everything is fine.
Let me connect to my instance one more time. Yeah, where are we? We are at some Nginx configuration. So this is my file. So here I have to give this query. So what this query do? It is going to forward your request to your service wherever in whichever the directory is running inside your server. So that's how it is working through the 127 IP address. And I have to save this, Control X, Y, enter, and then I have to enable the link and restart the my Nginx service. So it is done. I already created a database and the user in my MySQL server. For my application logic, I need to insert or I need to run one more query. Like, let me go with MySQL -u root -p. So this is my MySQL. For this, my application logics need to be go and insert some data into this database and the table. I have to write this query. So this is a query. So what this query does, it is going to use the student feedback data because previously we already created the student feedback and we are creating a feedback table. So this feedback table is already, this feedback table name I already mentioned in the app logic, and these are the things which it is going to show in your UI, and whatever the data you are inserting in the UI, that is going to write here. So that's it, the query is done. What I'll do, I'll going to exit from this database and I'll maintain a separate session with this so that we can see the database results, how it is storing the data. Let me go to connect button, reload. Copy this. I'll maintain another session with my server, and here sudo su. So in one session, I'm logging into the database. In another session, I'm into the server. So here, I'm into the server. Now I would like to run this application so that I can see my application in the web browser. Now I'm running this application with my IP address. Let me go to the instance section and copy the IP address and search this IP address on the web. Now this is a student feedback form for this lab. For example, I'm going to enter my name and the location is HYD and AWS trained or not. Yes, you can give your option trained in a Boolean form. And what do you understand by this class? So about server and application and database. Okay, rating for this 5. It's only up to 5 and submit your information. Thank you for the feedback. So this has been submitted. That means it has been went and write the data into the MySQL server. So how can I check this one? You can also browse this IP address I'm giving you in the chat and enter your data. I have given this link in the Google Meet chat. Copy that and open the browser and please fill your data. So here I'll give 30 seconds of time, then we'll see how many of you inserted data. I would like to see how many of you accessed and you have given your information into it. To do that, we can go with the show tables, show databases in the MySQL. Okay, show tables. Okay, so use this database, which is student feedback. So I have to change this student feedback, use database, and then show tables. I have feedback table already. I would like to see the information which is inside this feedback table. Select star from feedback table and this one. That's it. So this is my information. 7 members we have done. Myself and Nikki, Noida, server and database, Himanshu, Kalpak, Maniratnam, Suraj, Priya. So this is the information. It is inserted into this table. Whenever you're accessing any application, when you're doing login, sign up, or you're giving order, whenever you're ordering also, whenever doing payment also, payment checkout and everything is going to store inside a table, inside a database. How this SQL is structured? See, there will be one database first. For example, this is the MySQL server. This is the MySQL server. And inside this, you will create databases. Databases. Okay. So this is database. And inside this database, we'll create the tables. We'll create the tables. We'll create one table. Okay. So how this table will be? This table will be like this. So this is how your information going to store inside the table, inside the DB, inside your MySQL server. DB means it is like this. Whatever the information you're giving through the app logic, it's going to write in your DB. All the information of yours is going to store in the DB only. So how many orders you have done, how many payments you have done, how many add to cart you have done. So at your banking, at your insurance, you are seeing different applications, right? All the data thing is going to store it your database only. So this is how it works. The connection will work like this. The connection will work like this. We can see. So these are the things: feedback, rating, and submission date. All these things. Suraj is not trained. Okay. Most of the people already trained on the AWS. The same thing. I have done the same this database and app logic and as well as my web on the same server. In coming classes, I'll going to show you with separate RDS also. With separate RDS. We'll create a separate RDS. We'll connect this app logic with our RDS and we'll do this kind of application deployment in some advanced way where you can order, you can do payment. I can also include payment things here, which is directly going to check out and you can do payment from your real phone pay. You just need to click on the pay and that's it. It will check out automatically and you can pay it. I'll show you that labs as well in our regular classes. And you will get the code base also, source code. Whenever you create this RDS, so how do you do this configuration? So always an engineer need to do in the server only? No, we have some tools to connect. Like we have Workbench, SSMS. We have some tools to connect to RDS and run the queries and do the configurations. That going to done by the your DBA guys and as well as your developers. But deploying and providing the connection in terms of networking and application connectivity and maintaining this platform is by a cloud engineer or a DevOps engineer work. So it is not stick to one engineer only. It should by only cloud engineer or it should by only DevOps engineer. No, it's vary. In your organization, if you are the only one DevOps engineer, you have to take care about this servers and the cloud platform also. If it is a wide project, a cloud engineer is going to take care about the servers and RDS. You might going to take care about the applications and the connectivities at the application side as a DevOps engineer. But most of the times, this work is belongs to both guys, and you will be the one a cloud and DevOps engineer also. In most of the cases, you'll see that for the test environment, web and app logic, DB will be in the one server, and later after development happen and we'll create the RDS separately and we'll connect that and we'll provide a load balances between. We have different strategies with the RDS also, multi-agent, RAID replica, single agent, and here also at web service side, we are going to apply some auto scaling and as well as load balancers for load distribution with the application load balancer, network load balancer for path-based routing. Many things are going to involve in this concept. So this is first a basic simple concept. Very simple and basic thing. So if you understand this one, the other labs which I'm going to show in further classes, you will get to know easily. Otherwise, it's something hard for you guys. And I'm creating this server, this RDS and everything. But what about my network? We need to set up a network for our project. First thing, we need to set up a network. So this network things is first we need to learn on the cloud, any cloud. It can be Azure, it can be AWS, or it can be GCP also. First you have to learn about network only. Then only you will understand the project structure, how to create the a project on the over the cloud, how to maintain the project on the cloud, what are all the things needed to create for a project. All these things you have to start from the network. So in the AWS it is VPC, virtual private cloud. First we need to start from the VPC, and we are jumping into the regular classes from tomorrow onwards. And I'm requesting everyone to create your AWS account and do this practice. If you want to execute this particular lab, we can check out this blog. You have all steps here. You can just copy and paste in the server and you can execute this. So yesterday there was about the MySQL connector. The connector is not connecting properly, and we have run through the user, and that user configuration was not correct in the app code. So that is the issue. Syllabus, you can go to this site, emergencydevops.in. If you click on this site and come down, you can find meeting link, talk and meet, and as well as this demo classes link. And if you have any guidance about your career and about regarding anything, you can meet an expert. If you click on this link, you'll get the syllabus here. Click on this syllabus link. So this is the syllabus. Check it out, the syllabus. What are all the things mentioned in the syllabus? It is from the basic to the advanced. We are going to cover everything in a very advanced manner. That it's make you a 3 years experience guy on the cloud and DevOps. For more information, you can check the website. So here you can get. And I request you all guys, from Thursday the link is going to change. There will be no free link provided for the demo classes. Demo classes are already happened, 5 classes. So tomorrow is the one class, is the demo class, and after that the link is going to change. Who are all enrolled, they only get the new link, and as well as Google Classroom link where you can find the notes. Each step notes will be there, and each description, definition, everything, and along with the interview questions will be provided in your notes. After enrolling, you will be added into the Google Classroom. Yes, this course is equals to 3 years industry experience, a real-time experience. This is just a sample I'm showing you today in the class. In further classes, you will get the source code, you will get the real-time incidents, and also I will be going to add you to the some workflow into the Jira, SDLC, sprints, Scrum. All this I'm going to replicate here in this course as a real-time organization, how they are doing at the company. The same thing I'm going to replicate here. I'll create the Jira dashboard. I'll assign you the task after a few classes based on the labs. And based on your understanding, I'll create the task and I'll provide to you, and I'll tell you how you can find the material and sources as well. The advantage of this course is ChatGPT, Python. I'll be going to teach ChatGPT and Python in it. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask me now. This is just a sample, guys, and I'm again telling you, don't worry about the Linux. We are going to learn about the Linux from basic to advanced, and as well as Windows operating system. You don't know, you might be going to work on Windows operating system project also. Python for DevOps course, yes. Python in terms of DevOps. For 15K, you never get the Python scripting and ChatGPT, Bing, and this real time with along with the recorded videos, guys. So please utilize this time period. By this September end, there will be a huge hiring will start until December first week. So you have to be on the scale to get the job. Trust me, you will get the 3 years experience, real-time industry experience with this course. So after your
Um,
practice, yes.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Mhm,
Yeah, actually, I'm working in Accenture as a cloud engineer, but from past 2 years, I'm unable to get grasp any opportunity in DevOps.
mhm.
And when they are approaching me, they are asking, "Have you already?" They will be selecting only the candidates who have already worked in DevOps. So my question is that without getting the prior experience, how to jump into those projects? Should I create some projects on GitHub or something? How? Or no, what experience should I show?
See, one thing, not everyone is having the experience to move on the DevOps. You are already on the cloud, so you have good knowledge about the cloud and some knowledge about the DevOps also. After this course, you'll get some more knowledge. You can show your some local projects that you have done in your resume or your from your GitHub open source projects, and you can showcase in your organization itself. And you can say the same thing whenever your resource manager reaching out to you, and you can also tell your resource manager that I have already took the course on the DevOps. I have good experience in it. Schedule an interview. Let's see. I'll crack this interview. Then only onboard me into the project. You can speak with your RM straightforwardly. It's not a problem. They'll take. There's a flexibility in every organization. If you are on the cloud only, it's not mandatory. You have to stick to the cloud technology. Organization, if they are not having the cloud projects, they'll automatically move you into the DevOps. There's a flexibility in the skill in every organization. You can say I'm enough confident to handle the projects. I can take up the DevOps projects. Just onboard me and check my performance. This is your confidence level. You have to talk with your RM. And whenever they schedule any interview, since you're already learning here, you'll get some real-time experience and the project's scope also. You'll easily crack the interviews, whatever they ask. So this is what
Oh,
my suggestion is. Every
okay, sir.
organization will have this flexibility. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And in my last batches also, many of the students are the same. If you are working on application support, if you are working on development, if you are working on DBA, if you are working on testing, so they are showcasing their themselves that they had completed course, and every organization is also providing Udemy, right? So you can go and complete over there, but you'll never get this actual subject over there. But by at least watching the videos, if you complete that, you can showcase inside your organization with that certificate, so that your RM may consider you that to share your profile to the DevOps projects. You have to speak with RM confidently that I'm okay, and you have to update your skill set in your internal portal where you're applying the jobs. Internal portal, you have to update your primary and secondary skill set. Might you are updated your primary skill set as a AWS cloud. Also update AWS DevOps so that the calls will reach to you, like we have a AWS DevOps project, and they'll check with your experience and all, they'll schedule an interview.
Oh,
this
okay, sir.
this kind of tactics we have to play, then only you'll get the project. So if we say I only know cloud, people will think might she can't handle the project, we not meet their expectations. We always need to meet their expectations with our confidence. Once we into the project, or once we into the platform, we automatically get to know there will be a seniors, they provide you the KT, everything is possible. Since you are in an MNC and you will be mostly into the support or a migration or the new development, even though it is new development, you can simply say that I have total experience on the cloud. From the last 6 months I'm working on the project, DevOps project. Now, after interview got selected, when you are into the project, you can directly frankly speak with your seniors that I know this much, I know this much, and I'm doing this research, and this is my findings, this is my efforts. So I have a roadblock here. Help me. Everyone will help you.
Okay, okay. Sure.
Yeah, because you are. This is the right question. Few other people's also having the same thing, same question, but they're not speaking here itself in the same batch. They personally pinged me and had their questions. That's why I'm telling this. It's to everyone. Most of the people are already working professionals. No one is fresher here. Everyone is working professional already. So it's better that take this chance and learn and switch your career.
Sure, sir.
I'm going to delete this server, select and delete the server. In our further classes, we are going to create an environment like real-time environment. Like multiple resources will utilize, will connect one service to another service, will deploy the application, we'll see in the end like accessing the application, how the end user will access, and we'll go into learn about some incidents also, how the incident will happen when the user is experiencing something, how we need to troubleshoot, what are the points I have to look first, and then whom do I reach out, or you are the responsible or someone responsible. These are all things I'm going to teach you in the end of the session, like end of the course, with our projects. So I have included 6 real-time projects, right? It's completely real-time projects which you never get outside.
So one more question I have.
Mhm.
For example, if we are sitting for DevOps interview, for obviously we will go for DevOps fresher because we don't have much experience in working DevOps. So will they count these 2 to 3 years experience, or shall we present some projects before them in the before the interviewers?
Yeah, you can. So I'll show you how to showcase your project in your own GitHub. You can just create your static website.
I mean, they won't counter question on this that you have not worked in your organization based on DevOps and you are sitting for the interview of DevOps. So, I just wanted to clear it from your side that what should I showcase?
You can showcase your labs. So whatever the labs you are doing, same thing you can keep in your GitHub, and you can project that with GitHub pages. So with that, they'll easily understand that what kind of knowledge you have, and it is
Oh,
enough also to work on one project. If the project is already there and the essential means the project is already developed, at least 50% is already developed, you're going to support. If they are hiring a 3 years guys experience or 2 years guys experience, means you will be going to support. You're not going to be developed from the scratch. You're going to support on the project. So this is what the meaning is. They are hiring this less experienced guys. Means when the project has to start from the scratch, then they will hire architectures or the most experienced persons like 10 years, 8 years, more than 6 years guys, they'll hire. But when they are hiring the 2 years, 3 years guys, and you're going to support on the project, everything's already there. This knowledge is enough to support any project. What there will be CI/CD pipelines, or the production support, or the lower environment support. If there is a new development also, what else? There's a new configuration, new provisioning on the cloud that we are going to learn here, creating the servers, creating the services, and other resources, connecting them, providing the stable platform for the application deployments, and we have to actively look into the errors whenever the pipeline get failed, whenever any incident happen, we have to reach out to the concerned person, do the code review. These are all the things part of this course and part of your job also. These things only we do. You can take any 3 years experience guy, profile guy, you can ask even in itself in your Accenture, ping one DevOps guy and ask him what is your day-to-day activities. He'll tell you that I'm doing this, I'm monitoring pipelines, I'm monitoring deployments, I'm monitoring the application. Whenever incident
Yes,
happen,
they do the same.
yeah, whenever something happen, I have to reach out to the developer or a testers. You might be in SRE, you have to take care something production environment or a lower environment, or sometimes you have to provision and maintain the cloud infrastructure when deleting, optimizing, creating as per the request. Sometimes you do the platform engineering, creating new implementation. So you can ping a 10 guys in the itself in the same organization, take the roles and responsibilities and day-to-day activities with these things, and compare here in this our course also, and frame yourself that you're an experience. And when you're talking all this, automatically you'll able to handle yourself only. You don't need any other's help. And I'll tell you also, you can connect itself in your organization with one guy and see how he's working. Mostly he'll work on in in an area where less privileges there only. He's not having all the access, and there is no a domain like DevOps admin. So we are DevOps. DevOps itself is having many roles, many areas. Some organizations will give you all access. Some organization will give you only specific access at specific area. Some organization will give you 2 3 profile accesses. So DevOps is something you'll connect to everywhere. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir, I got it. I mean, you were saying that this project is enough to showcase, I mean, the projects which we'll be doing in the resume.
Yeah, it is enough in your interview also. While you're attending your interview, you can confidently
I
talk.
mean, there will not be any need to separately do some or dig some projects on GitHub separately
First thing,
from
if you're
random
going,
websites.
yeah, if you're going and finding any projects on the GitHub, most of the GitHub projects you'll find wrong. They'll not work. Someone already developed and they pushed, and it'll be 2 years back, 3 years back. So there will be an application. Ultimately, there is an application. You'll not find a separate project for DevOps. DevOps is something that there is an application. We have to create the environment and deploy successfully. That's what we need to maintain. That's what we are learning the tools and services. So to do DevOps projects, there are some Git repos, but they're not working. Why I'm providing? So who are all into the batch only, they'll get the source code. So this source code you can keep privately into your GitHub account and you can showcase that. And don't feel that an interviewer is going to ask you, you haven't done any experience or experience work on DevOps, but you are attending interviews. It's not like that. Might be one interview is going to ask you that question. You can give direct, straightforward answer. If I'm not did the work, am I not eligible to do the work? It's not like that. You can give straightforward question to any interviewer itself in the organization. Your RM also will support that. It's not like that. There is a flexibility. So you don't think that they are going to ask you the question, not having experience and how do you attending. You can say if they are asking also, I have done course, I have done few projects on my own. You can see in my GitHub repo also, that is mentioned in my resume, and I have done these things, I have know these things. Interview me and ask me the questions. If it is a failure interview also, you might fail at the interview also, but collect it as an experience to you in the interview. What are the questions he asked? Record it and ask me after that. If you're not able to answer, or you can do Google search, you'll get to know automatically. So with 3 or 4 interviews, fifth interview automatically going to select. It's not a matter. And for you, it not take that much time also. You're already on the cloud thing. You are unnecessarily
Mm,
fearing, I would say. Yes, class timing is 8 p.m. every day.